Jealousy, treachery, those they have to be what they cannot be. Jealousy, treachery, those who think they see what they cannot see. Jealousy, treachery, jealousy, treachery. I can ruin your livelihood, I can kill your wood with the nastiest shit you ever heard. I could trash your reputation, you might lose your wife and I'll destroy your life. Maybe I had could, should, would and will spread a rumor. When I ruin your job and your life, you won't have a sense of humor. Jealousy, treachery, those who have to be what they cannot be. Jealousy, treachery, those who think they see what they cannot see. Jealousy, treachery.
Jealousy. I could ruin your livelihood. I could kill you. I would. With the messiest shit you ever heard, I could trash your lip, mutate ya. You might lose your wife. I might destroy your wife. Maybe I had things you wouldn't want.
Wait. I'm sorry to interrupt this, but destroy your wife?
Destroy your wife. Can
Okay.
I? Yeah.
Sorry.
You're interrupting Sensei Seagal.
Sorry.
Spread a. I'm gonna do the last line there. Maybe I had things you wouldn't want. What is that line? Okay, I gotta break my own concentration here. What is that line? Spread a rumor, and I ruin your job and your life. You wouldn't have a sense of humor. Jealousy, treachery.
So first of all, Zen Master Seagal doesn't have an ounce of jealousy in his body, so he's writing this song from another person's perspective who's jealous of him.
The Punani Master himself.
Right. I mean, treachery. It's all these people are out to get him.
They're all out to get him. I mean, he is a blues legend. He grew up in Detroit, Lansing.
On the mean streets of Detroit. That's where he learned all his blues licks.
All his blues licks. And, man, they're at full exposure in that song. I wanted to read out those lyrics because I knew the lyrics going into it. And when I listened to it, I was like, that doesn't stand out enough. I got to make sure people get these lyrics. My throat hurts. Sorry. But we all enjoyed that.
It was something.
It's definitely something.
Yeah, it's Griff, I don't know what it is. I liked it. I would love, because I'm jealousy and treachery too. I would like to think it's about us, but
yeah,
every time we do a Steven Seagal movie, we get a huge groundswell of support on Twitter. I don't know if I'm jealous, so I want to believe it's us, but it's probably more Seagal. People just love Seagal.
He is the human piñata. People love to see his dumb face. Like I hate to admit this, we need Steven Seagal in this world. He is Stephen Wiseau.
We definitely need him more than he needs us.
He is Tommy Wiseau, but he still thinks like Tommy Wiseau thinks that he gets it now.
Yeah.
Steven Seagal does not get it. He still thinks he's that cool. He goes around telling people he's an MMA. Well, not champion himself, but he has instructed all the
He
MMA
instructed
champions.
Anderson Silva, who was one of the greatest of all time. Yeah. He taught him the front kick that knocked the dude out in like 1 second. Yeah, that was
Steven Seagal.
I've never seen Steven Seagal lift his leg once. Not even to pee.
You definitely don't see it in this movie.
No, unless there's like some like wire foo shit, like Crouching Tiger. Like there's like you see like these wires lifting his leg up.
Well, it's a funny thing. We just finished the movie a minute ago, and
so inspiring.
So I let the credits roll. There's over 60 stuntmen in this. Which
I know where you're getting at. I just want to point out, hey Marvel, here's another thing you stole from Steven Seagal: end credits scene.
Yeah. Yes. So me and Murray both shut off the movie after we pulled out the tear box because, man, he hits us hard at the end. That message at the end.
I want to say I was always a climate change denier. I was always like, it's bullshit. The science is still out. That little girl needs to go the fuck back to Sweden or Russia, where the fuck she's from.
That's the one thing I agree with Trump. I can't even finish that. Yes.
And now I'm like, well, he would never lie to me.
Yeah.
I mean, Child would always lie to you.
Exactly.
But Seagal, Sensei Seagal, Zen Master Seagal, no. So now it's like, we need to get shit moving now.
Back in 1994.
Yeah, I wish I had actually seen this movie when it came out. I'd be woke before woke was a thing.
Dude, you'd stop wearing these plastic clothes of yours. You're just wrapped in plastic. You won't.
Honestly, I can't make a plastic noise. But
Kirk. That's a good plastic noise there.
that's
But
all I got.
again, one of the best things about Steven Seagal is that everything is not. He doesn't pull ideas out of the air. These are all his own experiences.
Well, that's the best art comes from life. I mean,
Yeah.
you know.
He's a great blues musician because he grew up on the mean streets of Detroit.
Yep.
He was a prodigy at.
There's so many people that talk about him still here about how he just taught them about the blues.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Like every time you walk down Detroit, you hear people murmuring about
well,
it
there's
on their
Steven
porches.
Seagal Boulevard right on east side of Detroit.
Right
we all
on the
know
side.
it. You know
Exactly. There's that mural, that beautiful mural of him.
Yeah,
Oh,
and he's
God.
like all the shit he can do. He's like breaking an arm. He's playing the blues.
I mean, amongst all that,
He's examining a woman for breast cancer.
we of course know he's ex-CIA.
He definitely worked for the company at one time. I just can tell by the way he moves. I'm like, that guy, he knows stuff.
Yeah. And of course, he was in Black Ops.
Yeah.
Of course. He's a deputy in both New Orleans, Jefferson, Louisiana, I believe it was, and Arizona, of course, because he helped out Joe Arpaio.
Great
Good
American,
buzz.
Joe
Great
Arpaio.
America. Blues Master said that already. Here's a new one to me. He's a deity.
Yeah, I thought he was.
Yeah.
But is it proof? We've got proof now?
Yeah, apparently, like Scientology, if you pay that religion enough money, they'll make you a deity.
He's a Scientology deity?
Yes, that's the one.
Oh, I didn't know he even was a Scientology. Do you have to be a Scientology?
No,
I guess they'll just take your money no matter what.
The fucking Dalai Lama loves his money so much, and his movies so much, that he said, you get to be a deity now. So he actually took that information back to a set of a movie. It was like...
I want documentation on that.
Yeah.
That sounds a little sketchy.
There's one of those stories out there.Maybe we'll dig into that one for the future. But
he said that right before Judo Gene LaBelle choked him out and made him shit his pants.
Right. There's a couple other things. He's, of course, a Ninja Gaiden. And you know that video game Battletoads? That's based on a real-life experience of his.
Wow, no wonder it was so hard to beat.
Yeah.
And I only beat it once I got my Nang Chen ponytail.
Exactly.
So it all falls into place.
Yeah. That whole game was based in New Orleans, and then he went to space because he's also a part of Space Force. Hello. Why do you think Space Force got started?
Was it his idea to make that uniforms camouflage?
Exactly.
Okay.
It was.
I thought he was gonna. I always assumed if he would be like Jedi robes, like that would be his idea. But,
that or like bulletproof Kevlar kimonos that he likes to wear.
well, we know on a show we're going to talk about in another episode that he always wears a flak jacket.
Always.
Whenever he's out patrolling the streets.
Yes.
Because these streets are mean.
They're like, never mind.
They're jealous and they're treacherous.
They jealousy, treachery. That's such a great song. Murray,
They're all great.
I think this episode is going to take us 45 hours. So
At least to scratch the surface. There's so much subtext and
Ugh.
I've watched this movie 50 times in the past 2 days.
Yeah.
Because I'm just absorbing new things, new
Layers.
experiences, new life. It's great.
It's Seagal, man.
So we're going to try our best. I recommend you just watch it, but we're going to try our best to like recreate it for you with the theater of the mind that is golan-globus theater. But I highly recommend you watch it, and you'll learn about life, about the spirit world, about
evil corporations,
big
oil.
About even if you sell out, it's not too late.
Yes.
You learned that.
Yeah. That was a big one.
So, fuck it. Let's just get right into this. We're all on some deadly ground.
In this land of frozen beauty, where a proud people make their home, Aegis Oil is making a killing.
The people here want to talk about the poisons in their environment. If Aegis 1 is not online and operational in 13 days, then the oil rights will revert back to the Eskimos, and that is not going to happen.
But there is hope. And now, he's here. Steven Seagal is on deadly ground.
You're an oil man.
When I put out the fires, I stop spills. We are being lied to by some of the most sophisticated people on Earth.
I know we've had our disagreements.
How much money is enough?
I don't need that kind of problem right now.
Get rid of the problem.
You mean mercenaries?
Now this land has a friend.
In you, I've seen a great spirit.
These people have a warrior.
Did you beat up on this little native man?
And this corporation
Find me a body or find me the man.
has a big problem.
Who the hell is this guy?
That's Eddie's company.
Company?
CIA.
Whatever he is, he's a damn problem.
Steven Seagal,
Time to move out.
Michael Caine,
He'd need a miracle to stop us now.
Just gonna reach out and touch somebody here.
on deadly ground.
All right, welcome back. Great trailer. You, of course, heard Michael Caine. He got Michael Caine in this movie.
Yeah, well, it's not that hard. Michael Caine will do anything for $1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And that's,
he was once. He's famous for. This is a true story. He didn't come to the Academy Awards to collect his first Oscar because he was too busy filming Jaws 4: The Revenge.
that's right. I did know that.
Yeah, well, I explained that on Twitter. People were talking about that. Some people, it's just a job. Like it's not like, I mean, like you get these actors like it's a calling from God to be an actor. It's
Right.
an important thing. And he's just like, no, it's this fucking job, and I do it because I love how Michael Caine doesn't even attempt to ever do an accent that's not Michael Caine. He just does his
It's
accent.
true, yeah.
Because I'm sure Jennings was supposed to be American in this, but he's like, fuck it, he is American, but he talks like me.
Yeah, I fucking loved it. Like Michael Caine.
Well, he's in the same league we say with like Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing. He was considered better than them, but I'm just saying like he always delivers. He could be in the biggest piece of shit and he delivers. He's like, hey, I'm gonna do the best of my ability. I can make my role look good, and I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna shine.
We haven't even started. We're already on one tangent. I have to continue this tangent though because they have him dressed as a Western. Like, he's always wearing the bolo.
Well, right, yeah.
He's an oil man, so of course he's got to be a Southern
I'm surprised he didn't have like a cowboy hat like Jerry Ewing. Like,
man. They probably want him to wear one, and Michael Caine was like, "You can fuck yourself."
Like in those like suits where it's like, you know what I'm talking about, where it's like leather
Yeah.
here. It's kind of like
Basically, I could see him wearing some of the tassel jackets that Steven Seagal was wearing. That might be a little too far. His tassel jackets are a little more casual.
right. Business casual.
Anyways, Murray, we've got a nice screeching eagle.
Screeching hawk, because we learned when we did our screaming eagle bit from the horribly underrated Stone Cold episode that eagles sound like dorks.
Yeah,
they sound like turkeys.
They sound like dorks.
And so we even had to substitute a screaming eagle. We called it the screaming eagle, but we used a hawk.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
A hawk is when you think of an eagle, it's really a hawk, people.
I had it like all sound like set up, and you're just like, wait, is that the eagle?
It's like, what? That's the symbol of our nation? What the fuck? Yeah, but we start out, we just see that beautiful, majestic creature. Sounds like a dork, but he looks amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like Steven Seagal.
We're kind of looking over the whole landscape.
Beautiful.
Of Alaska.
This is what we're fighting for, Griff. This
Yes.
is what we're fighting for against big oil.
Yeah. I think Alaska already lost the fight to oil. But,
Yeah, well, yeah, he did.
yeah. So we're going all around Alaska, and finally we break into an oil refinery, and it's on fire. We went from pristine conditions to hell on earth.
And when you got a problem with telling Earth, who do you ask for?
I can't imagine. I'd call in that one guy from that Scrub show. Can't remember his name. He was the jerk doctor and knew it all.
I never watched that show.
Okay, I don't remember it. All the kids, that was The Office for the people I was growing up with.
Oh.
Like, they all loved it, and
They were
I
horrible.
didn't like it.
Yeah, so whatever that meant. we see a chopper come in. We're like, who could be on this chopper?
Of course. Sensei
Did we
Seagal.
point out this is the first and last time Steven Seagal ever directed a movie?
Yeah.
He was
point
hot
that out.
off the heels of Under Siege. He was the hottest thing going. He could do whatever he wanted, get any project he wanted made, and this was it.
And
It tanked horribly.
Yes.
It made like 2/3 of its budget back.
35 with a $55 million budget.
Yes. So he
He exits the helicopter, and we got this little man, Hugh. And
he's like, "Thank God!"
yeah, you hear over the explosion, everything. Somebody yell out, "Thank God, Forrest is here!" Oh
Yes.
my God, this is fucking mumbling.
Forrest Taft. We want to point out there's 2 movies in 1994 that had mentally deficient people named Forrest in it.
No.
This and Forrest Gump. What? Forrest Gump wasn't mentally deficient. That was the whole point of the movie.
At least he was in shape. That's a slight on
That's
Steven
true.
Seagal. I love
that's
this.
just weird.
I love this. Steven steps
And of
out.
course, well, that goes back to his name too. Taft, our fattest president.
Yeah, Taft.
So he's mentally deficient and fat.
He
Perfect
is,
name for
he
Steven
is
Seagal.
layered up for 90% of the movie, but for some reason in this scene he's wearing like a windbreaker. They're in Alaska.
I thought he was rocking the buckskins. He didn't have.
I don't think he had it on right away. Not yet.
okay.
It's the next scene in the bar that he's got like the buckskins
because
and
he
shit.
goes full native in this movie.
Yeah.
He's just like it's like when our soldiers when they go out in like Afghanistan, they start wearing those scarves and shit. Like he's it becomes part of where he's at.
Yeah.
And that's what. So he's full native, and Hugh, he's ready to commit suicide. He's like, "What can we do? It's over.
Yeah,
My job is sunk."
There's a nice little moment here where when Forrest steps out of the helicopter, starts telling him, "Man, all the shit they've been giving me is all rigged. All those fucking millionaires that you sold out to are giving me bullshit work materials, so everything is just going to hell."
Right off the bat, Seagal just throws a 180 on us. What? A Steven Seagal character sold out? What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
That's a big 180 here.
And he's just like, "Don't worry about it."
He opens the door and he's
We're
like, "You mean
that
these
asshole 1%er? I'll fucking kill him." And then all of a sudden he opens that door. Michael Caine with his. They got the dueling bad dye job hairs going on.
Oh yeah, good call on that.
And he's got the bolo tie. He's like, "What were you saying? What were you saying?"
What were you saying?
"Nothing, sir." And he scurries away.
Ugh.
And then Seagal, this is the only time the movie smokes. But he's needed this one scene. He pulls out a cigarette.
I noted that, and then it went away.
Because he needed it for this badass intro scene.
Yes,
Because then he
you're right.
lights a cigarette right off that oiled refinery fire. And then he throws the cigarette away. And then I'm going to trust Steven Seagal and say he did some research. And this is how they stop oil refinery fires. Because he gets a barrel full of gas or some explosive.
It's explosives, yeah.
And he pulls it on a chain, pulls it up, and blows up the refinery, and the fire stops.
Hey man, from what I know in my other oil movie research, There Will Be Blood. That's how they did it in that.
Okay,
So,
I'm not saying it.
I know. I'm just saying,
It just
based on
seems
other movie
weird.
logic, that might be true.
So you're saying there will be blood? What was it
There
called?
Will Be Blood.
I've seen it, but I forgot the name. It was based on this movie. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, based on this movie, big time.
So he should have got a credit, a consulting credit for that movie.
I think Steven fought tooth and nail to get that credit.
I also want to point out we were both shocked that he didn't pull a Stallone on Cobra and demand he gets credit for writing the script. No,
Big time.
He let the guys have it.
He already had director, star, executive. He was like, you know,
Auditioner for naked scenes.
auditioner for naked scenes, choreographer. He did it all. So he was just like, I'll give those guys one writing credit.
So yeah, he lights his cigarette, throws it away, blows up the refinery. End of problem. That's it. And guys oh my God. He was like, "Thank God you're here.
Yeah.
I'm a fucking incompetent idiot, Forrest."
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, no problem. We're friends."
But really, what's going on? He's just like, I'm so suspicious of those 1%ers. I think they're fucking us here. You know me. They live in the same house. I'm pretty sure they live in the same house.
No. That was just.
We'll get to it in a minute.
Yeah,
I think they live in the same house.
Well, I don't know. Speculation.
So Steven hits the bar after a long day's work of exploding shit and lighting
he's
cigarettes.
Well, he throws out this thing. He's like, these goddamn faulty preventers, fire preventers. We're getting Mexican-made shit here, Forrest.
Yeah.
This ain't American-made steel.
This is an American-made.
And he's just like, look, I know Jennings. That's Michael Caine's character. He's like, I know him. I trust him. He would never give us faulty material. But I'm going to tell him. What you. I'm your friend. I'm still your friend. I'm the middleman. I'm the in between. I'm going to tell him all the things you've told me, and he'll listen to me.
Yeah.
So he gets in the chopper, and he's like, look, these fire preventers, they're not good. He's like, Michael Caine's just like, shut up. It's their fault.
Oof.
It's human error. There's nothing wrong with it. Would I lie to you? Would I? People are saying that they did it.
Yeah.
That's what I hear. Word on the street.
Yeah.
They did it. He started it.
Why would I, who am about to lose this land in 2 weeks if I don't get my oil refinery up and running, why would I?
I'd rather lose this land than tarnish my name by having faulty fire preventers.
Yeah. What do I have to gain from this, Forrest Taft? Your name, your character's name. They probably had to say that to remind Steven a lot that was his character.
So Seagal, you see, he's a little suspicious. But he's like, okay, I believe you.
I love, especially in these opening scenes, you see sassy Seagal a lot. Did you notice whenever he's talking back to people, he tilts his head back and forth?
No, I didn't notice it.
Yeah, it's a thing.
It's like a thing, like animals make themselves bigger. He like whips the Nang Chen around, and it kind of threatening.
That might be what it is.
It's like a rattlesnake. Making it like
rattlesnake. Are we ready to go to the bar? You ready to go to the bar?
We're ready now. Yeah,
okay.
After I got that important stuff.
No, you did get important stuff out there. Look at me with my beer.
Well, this is a great scene. I can tell why you want to get to it.
Exactly. I've got my beer. I want to get to him getting his beer. He's got another cigarette.
I thought he was drinking tea.
He was, but he was smoking another cigarette.
Okay. Well, continuity.
For 2 scenes. As far as he can take it. But yeah, he's hitting those cloves real hard, and Hugh comes back out. Of course, there's going to be a native in the bar.
Well, Hugh comes out and grovels apology. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I had to put you in that position. And he's like, hey, we're friends. No problem. Well, what's going on in the background? Continue, Griff.
Native being harassed, and he's just like he looks like a bum.
He's a pathetic drunk.
He's got
loser.
holy clothes.
He's an alcoholic.
He's
on the firewater.
Oh, he's on the firewater, and there's these goons there. One of the goons, by the way, is the goon from Dumb and Dumber, which I thought was very interesting. His name was also Mike. That's his actor's name as well.
Okay.
Very, very convenient.
Yes.
The name never comes up. I just noticed it in the credits.
Okay.
But yeah, so Mike is harassing this native man
he's
hard.
Mocking him. He's just like, here, beg for this beer. And this guy's desperate. You see, this guy's desperate. He's a horrible, disgusting drunk.
Yeah.
And he's just showing no compassion for this guy at all.
Yeah.
And Sensei Seagal's all about compassion. So he's crying on the inside. But he's like, no, I can't. I'm middle management now. I can't be with the workers anymore. I have to keep a distance.
Right.
I'm just gonna mind my business. But he can't help but notice, and then the guy Mike can't help but notice he's looking.
Exactly.
So he throws out some shit. Hey, motherfucker, with your buckskins, what the fuck you gonna do?
Yeah, you look like a cupcake over there. That's some hard language. That's some real hard language. You're talking to Sensei.
Oh my God, Sensei! He just goes. Serenity now. I'm not going to interfere.
Just kind of like,
I'm just going to have my tea and my clove cigarette, and I'm going to go home and read.
But it's hard to be.
And but this is the thing. The bartender's like, Forrest, don't you go there.
Don't you do it.
Don't you trash my bar one more time. Because we know from past Seagal movies, he loves trashing bars.
Well, I was trying to reflect on all the
Don't you touch these hot dogs here. Don't you touch them.
I know for a fact now, and in all 3 or 4 movies we've done, there is a bar fight scene. He has to have a bar fight
because
scene.
He has to use a cue stick as like kendo sticks.
He misses out on it this week, though.
He didn't do it, yeah.
He didn't do it. But Hugh does give him a little more information before he disappears out of the scene here, because he's like, look, I'm telling you, I got it all. I looked through the files. They're ordering that Mexican steel. They're not getting the real deal.
He's like, I did, and then of course Seagal's like, well, I did see those stress fractures while I was, he has to point out that he knows, but he's like,
I think you're telling me the truth, little buddy.
He's like, look, I got a Gateway computer, just bought it. Follow the paper trail.
Just follow it.
He's like, you got the password to get into. I got everything. They trust me. Look into it. I'll do that.
They're just in the upstairs closet at wherever. I don't even know where he went to.
He went to Hughes' house. Yeah. Well, no, this is where you got confused, I think, because what they point out is that Seagal keeps some clothing at Hughes' place when he goes hunting.
Okay.
So that's why it closed there.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Us two totally straight guys who would never spend time together in a cabin in the woods. Just keep my clothes here.
You happen to have ladies' clothes there as a side.
No, those were Hughes' clothes.
Those were Hughes'
Yes, they were. They actually had a line to explain that. He's like, you're about Hughes' size. But we're getting ahead of ourselves.
You're right. He did say that.
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
God.
So, yes, Hughes follow the paper trail.
Oh.
Mueller report, and he walks out.
Yeah. So, Hugh takes off with his little red hat and his mustache. And
kind of an elderly Griff.
Yeah, he is kind of an elderly Griff. You're right about that. But our Bargoon, he's like, you know what? I'm having a lot of fun tonight. I'm going to fuck with that native some more, and I'm going to do it despite Cupcake over there. So he calls that native back over.
He's almost taunting Sensei Seagal through this native. He's like, I can't get him. Because that thing, Seagal is so altruistic. He can take all this shit you pile on him and just brush it off. He can just brush it off. But when you fuck with a weaker person, he's got to stand up for him.
Exactly. So he calls the native over. Native gets real close. Sir, do you mind if I drink your beer? He's like, yeah, you know what? I do mind. And he just starts like fucking sloshing it in his face. And then he like throws some on the ground. He's like, lap it up, dog. And Sensei is like, hey, you think you're a tough guy? I said, I don't remember how he embraces this fight. Did he just walk over to them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that's all I can stand, and I can't stand no more.
Yeah.
And then he's like, you ever play patty cake? And the guy's like, of course I have. I'm a badass. Of course I played patty cake.
Oh, man, you're going to skip right over all the fights he has?
He fights before that?
Dude, he has a lot of fighting before that.
Well,
because he steps...
Go into it.
Okay. So this is where we're going to start cracking into those 84 different stuntmen they have, because they're all replacing one move in this movie. So first move he does, steps over a table and kicks guy in the face.
That's a very honorable way to fight.
You think he could handle that himself? No. Stunt double one. Then we get this. He grabs a rope off the wall. A rope. It was
like a lasso, wasn't it?
It was, yeah, and it was laced up, so it was just
it was wound up, and
so he wasn't like strangling people or anything. He just had a wound up rope,
batting people with it.
Yeah, how is that? So, anyways, he takes it off the wall. Then it goes to stunt double number 2, and he's grabbing people from around their neck and throwing them.
But he did not use a stunt double. He grabbed that guy's dick and crushed it.
Okay, so I'm glad you brought that up. I pointed that out on the notes for a reason. That's the one stunt he did in the scene. He did grab that man by the dick and said, you think you're a real man? Why can I barely feel it? Come on, Sensei. Yeah, are you that just fucking despicable?
Well, I just want to point out, for a guy who is so, spiritual, I don't think anybody in all the movies we've done is more sadistically cruel in killing people than Steven Seagal is.
I'm glad you bring up sadistically cruel, because this next stuntman he beats up on is Hugh. He switched out his hat, and they covered up his mustache with a piece of tape, and he breaks his hip, and you see a close-up of his fist going into the guy's hip, and then a close-up of him breaking his knee. Why? Why are you beating up old men?
I don't know.
So then we get, of course, he throws a dude out a window, because he always has to throw somebody out a window. I think he even let him with the rope, but I don't think so. But yeah, then we get to the big showdown with Mike, the fucker who is started this whole thing.
Yes, this is where we get back to that deadly game of patty cake. Where he goes, put your hands out.
I got a game for you. Oh, I got a game for you. Mine's called patty cake.
He's like, I've heard of it. Who hasn't? This is a badass thing. He's like, all right, put your hands out. And I'm going to put my... And we all know this game. It's not technically patty cake.
Yeah.
But it's a game. We've all played it as a kid. You put your hands out, and somebody puts their hands under you, and the object is then to slap the top of your hand.
Yeah, the person under goes over top and slaps the hands. It's all eye speed and
hand-eye coordination,
hand-eye.
and you're supposed to get slapped. Of course, get them away before they get slapped.
Yeah.
So he's like, all right, let's play this. If I hit you, I get to punch you.
Yeah.
If you get away, you get to hit me.
Ooh.
Sounds pretty fair, doesn't it?
Big man, big balls. Mike was really emphasizing how he was a big man with real testicles.
Yeah,
real testicles.
Yeah, he was nonstop talking about his balls. It got pretty uncomfortable.
In fact, Sensei took it a little too far because he kept emphasizing how big his balls were. I could see him through your jeans. You are a man.
So, of course, they do it. Immediately, Sensei slaps his hands. He's
Yeah.
like, beginner's luck. Sensei's got to punch you.
Yeah.
Just hauls off and punches him in his gut.
Yeah, right in the gut, which, of course, knocks him over. He's like, hey, big man, why don't you get your balls off the floor? What are they doing down there? You mopping up some blood? What's going on?
He's like, all right, beginner's luck. Let's do it again.
Yeah.
And then they do it like 5 times or some shit.
You think you can take the cupcake on?
And then the last time, they do it from 3 different angles. They show it. Boom, 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 slow motion.
He hits him 3 times that last attack. I didn't like that. But Mike goes down. He comes up. He's got shit in his hair. His face is bleeding. And Sensei, he just touches his shoulder.
This is so much. This is the Steven Seagal I know that's taught me about spirituality and philosophy.
This is deity Seagal coming through.
Right. Now normally like Van Damme, he would just break the guy's neck and be over
this is prime roundhouse territory.
Right.
This is like a cell you would see in AEW where they stand there for 14 minutes.
Yes. And most like a lesser man would just murder Mike, but he drops some philosophy and he goes, "What does it take to change the essence of a man?" He spits up blood and shit.
He did vomit the one time Seagal punched him.
He was like, "Hey, those taste like balls."
Time, sir.
Yeah, so
time.
I want to point this out because somebody brought this up on our Twitter feed about this very scene.
Really?
And I pointed out, here's the thing. Everybody knows your racism chakra is in your gut.
Oh, my God.
And basically what Sensei Seagal, he didn't beat this guy up. He realigned his chakras.
No fucking way.
And he eliminated racism out of this guy. This guy literally learned a lesson.
That's why...
It's not just a saying. We usually say, like, I'm going to teach you a lesson. He really did teach him a lesson.
That's why after the scene, he rips his Redskin shirt in half.
Right.
My God.
He
That's
said,
amazing.
no more tomahawk chopping from me, buddy.
Holy shit.
I'm kneeling from now on.
That's amazing. I'm kneeling at every football... Wait, what? Kneeling? Yeah. That's a little too close to football people kneeling. I don't like it.
So this guy... He's a changed man. This is what Seagal does. He tears you down to build you back up.
I like that most of the time he punches, they cut to the audience, and it's always women just like fawning over him. He took it a little easy. Sensei went a little soft on this movie. Usually there's more women that want him and more men that want to be him.
He had so much of a message he didn't have time.
You're right.
It's on the cutting room floor.
He worked in a little bit.
And none of those lines were scripted, by the way, Griff. All the lines that women say about how amazing he is, how huge he is, just off the cuff. They couldn't help it. They had to say it.
I love, I wanted to point out that there's always a good line in the background of scenes, and there was one where he's like, you hear a lady, oh, that cupcake's dick is huge. That Nang Chen is looking sweet today.
Yeah.
It's just...
And so he's like, hey, Geronimo Joe, you need a lift?
Yeah.
And the guy's like, I just want a beer.
I just want a beer.
And so he gives them a beer and walks off into the sunset.
Yeah.
So what's going on with our man Michael Jennings?
Well, we need to get to villains. We've barely touched
We've already
on the villains.
Now we know everything we need to know about Forrest Taft, the hero. So now tell us about the villain.
So we're going to Michael Jennings, a.k.a. Michael Caine. Had to keep his name Michael because that was too confusing for Sensei. Yes. So... Michael, he's
they
getting
probably
ready.
Changed his name in post because he kept calling him Michael throughout the movie.
Probably. So he's actually going to be shooting a commercial because Aegis Oil, the company he is the owner and founder of, has, of course, had a huge oil leak. He's got Africa, Alaska is basically ruined. Like he's killed so many animals with the oil spill. A couple whales have died.
All he cares about is he's losing his oil. He's like,
Yeah.
I don't give a shit that it's killing animals.
Yeah.
I want that oil should be in somebody's car right now.
Exactly.
And we see his henchman. He's got a woman. I don't know what was her name.
I didn't catch her name. Janice.
And she is the chip off the old block. She's like, sir, I saw that this compensation fee you gave to these natives for having their dicks fall off from oil, it's way too high.
It's way too high.
We're going to cut that down to 2 cents. I like the way you think, lady.
Boom. I'm
I'm going to call her Ivanka. And then we see Magruder.
Scratch Janice.
Who was that? The guy from Scrubs you're talking about?
That's him.
Magruder.
Yeah, I called him Mac.
Magruder, his like pussy henchman guy, and his henchman Otto, played by 2 weeks in a row, Sven Ole Thorsen.
What, really?
Yeah, he was in the beginning of Red Heat, and now he's in this one. Nice. I got a story about him that I read on IMDb that we'll talk about. but still, what a douche fucking Seagal is. But yeah, he's just like, all right, I'll do this fucking PSA, get these fucking fucking whatever, that bitch from Norway off my ass.
Oh, that Greta. Fuck her.
He hates nature so much. And what do we learn, Griff? If you don't train in nature, if you're not a part of nature, you're evil.
Yeah, you're against nature. You're evil. I mean, he is like he burns plastic. He loves it.
Just to watch it burn. And so they can't even take him outside. He has a setup to make it look like it's outside.
Exactly. They can't take him outside.
And they got like a reindeer from a Santa workshop.
Couple caribou. And he's disgusted by him, but he does the shoot, and he does it great. He
nails it.
Michael Caine killing it.
One take Mike, as they call him.
Yeah, exactly. Just lays it up. No
and
big
as soon
deal.
as he's like, and cut. Then he's like, get these fucking animals out of here. I want to have a caribou steak later tonight.
That's
going
to
to
be delicious. So we make sure to throw the other half of the animal away. I want it decomposing.
Eat it in front of some natives.
So we follow Michael as he goes through his office, wherever he is, and we see that there's like a lineup of reporters that want to talk to him. And we learn on the way to this little powwow he's going to do with them that Aegis Oil has 21 days to complete the oil rig before they lose the land it's on.
No, they need 21 days to finish Aegis 1.
But
they only have 13 days.
They only have 13.
So that's why he's cutting corners and getting that Mexican steel.
See, what we did there was we help people when they're confused when they watch this movie. We just, you know what? Murray corrected that. Okay. So, yeah, 13 days, get all the land back, because otherwise it goes to the natives.
Yeah.
And,
of course, he cheated the natives. He gave them some beads and shit for all of Alaska, and they finally caught on to him, thanks probably to Sensei.
Oh, this is the one he goes to do a presser. He goes back to his office, and he's learning about how Hugh is going to send over all the equipment they bought to the EPA. He's, Murray, this is going to be very relevant here, a whistleblower.
Well, thank God they knew who he was because they took care of him. But...
Yeah. Well, they're about to.
Yeah.
So he's going to sit down with Mike's going to sit down with his two best men, Magruder and Otto.
And he's like, take care of it. You know what to do.
Using
some very Trump speak. He's like, I don't know you. I've never seen you. I've taken 5 million pictures with you, Otto. I don't know you. Take care of him. Wink.
Wink. Big wink.
And then, he does that presser, and the guy, the head of the tribe of nations, he's just like, we're going to get our land back.
We're going to do it.
We're taking it back. And then Joan Chen, right out of Twin Peaks, comes out, and she just hucks the loogie on him. And it looks like oil. She's chewing some chaw.
Man, I love Joan Chen.
And he's just like, this is a new suit, you bitch. And she's like, you're a bad person. And then we see our man's Forrest in the background. He's like, what? Really? I always thought he was great. He's got his buckskins. I was getting a real you're too young to remember this. There's this guy named Jerry Spence who was like involved in the OJ trial. Like, he was like he was like a guy they would consult. He always wore buckskin jackets
Nice.
with like the fringe, and it always annoyed me. And the bolo ties, he always had that shit. And I was getting, and it was around the same time, so I don't know who followed who.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So Seagal's got a job to do. He needs to go check out that computer and find
That new
these
gateway.
logs. Because he's going to go on that gateway. See, I thought this was at some kind of office. I didn't think this was at the house I confused for Hughes and Seagal's.
No, Seagal is at the office.
Okay.
When he goes on the computer.
Yeah.
Because simultaneously, Hugh is on his gateway.
Yeah, you're right.
There's a lot of advertisement for gateway. I don't know why, but you see those like cow like boxes with cow print on. I don't know. This gateway was hot as shit back then.
Right, they're going to play a quick game of EverQuest, and but they're going to get to business right after a few hours of questing. And so they learn of the faulty equipment. Steven's just like, oh my god, he's pretty much a hacker in this movie.
Right.
Add that to the
really
list.
because he had the password.
To Sensei Seagal, he was like, I'm a computer hacker. Which, by the way, he's like typing on the same 3 keys for everything.
But that sets off alarms. Like, so our man Jennings, he knows now because you see all the specs. There's like cracks in the Mexican. I don't know why it's talking like a Star Trek like computer. And so he's just like, you get those sweet ass for the time 3D like spins the like bar, like the metal bar around. We see cracks in it. We're like, oh, okay.
So we know Stevens got the information. Hugh did his job. He kept a copy of it. Like I think
Hugh pulls out that floppy disk.
Yeah, just in time.
He and then he hides it, but he doesn't really. But somehow through screen film magic, he hides it 'cause he doesn't hide it in this scene.
Of course, it's early in the afternoon, so this is Hugh's time to scan the internet for ladies. So he's
this is 94.
Yeah.
So he's downloading. It's 3 hours to download one picture.
Oh yeah,
but that picture was worth it.
Hey, that one picture. That's going to be the last good thing he has in his life here, Murray. Because who's at the door?
He's like, "Can you wait? I'm downloading a picture. It's 1994. It takes 3 hours." And like, sorry, this will be just a minute. And they're like, "What are you doing?" Otto and Magruder, and it's like, "Nothing. I'm just downloading porn."
Guys, check out this lady. She's beautiful.
Where are those logbooks? Where is the disc?
Logbooks? All I've been doing is logging sperm into this rag here, fellas. I'm up to nothing. Look at my red hat. Look at my mustache. I'm a beautiful man.
Make America great.
Make America great.
And they're like, "We don't believe you." Otto, take care of this creep. And then Otto grabs this like kid's a giant whale dick like on his table.
He did. It was impressive.
Almost impressive as Sensei Seagal.
Yeah, you know what? I bet Sensei gave that to him as a gift. Like, hey, this is a little smaller than mine, but it'll do.
Otto grabs the petrified whale dick. He's like, "You like looking at dicks? Huh? You looking at dicks? How about this dick?" And he smashes his finger.
He's like, "I see you've got 9 more. So you got about 9 more chances to tell us where the disc is." See, I didn't say dick, disc. Or we're going to smash the rest of them. And he's just going through his cabinets. He's knocking the fucking Tang over. It's like, come on, man. It's a full
breaking his fucking Star Wars glasses from Burger King. It's awful.
That commemorative Reagan plate he had on the wall there, just gone. Knocked it over. Fucking A. And they're not getting any information out of him. Nothing. Not a word.
He's not giving it up, man.
So they get a piano wire and strangle him up. And he's still not confessing. Hugh will not talk.
Yeah, they tie him to his chair, and then they're like, "Get that pipe cutter." So Otto comes in with his giant-ass pipe cutter, somehow attaches it to Hugh's dick. I don't know what was going on.
Dude, I have no idea.
His leg, his dick, I don't know what, somewhere below the belt. I mean, you don't go below the belt.
Yeah.
And to his credit, Hugh still doesn't give it up. He gets his dick chopped off with a pipe cutter.
Dude, there's blood spraying everywhere. That was brutal.
Yeah, and then it disappears later on when Seagal shows up. I didn't get
exactly.
that.
Who came by and cleaned it up?
The cleaning lady.
And
she's like, I hope you're clothed, Senor Hugh. And he's like, but anyway, what they did? I mean, I don't know what they did with his body. They just leave. Oh, I know what they did.
Yeah.
So
we go back to another presser. It sounds like before. There's people
I love how they
yelling.
tear the house apart. Couldn't find this disc. Like it's just upstairs in a bag.
Yeah, they did a very bad job. These guys, my mom would have said, if it were a snake, it would have bit you. Because it's like right there.
Well, they kind of show that Magruder is kind of an idiot. Like later on.
Yeah, and
But,
Otto, of course, is not far
He's
from
the idiot
tree.
of an idiot.
Exactly.
So
He's the other guy to Lev Parnas. So we have another presser. It's the same thing. Community's pissed, but Sensei Seagal's there, and he's just reading the scene. He's got so much more information now.
Yes,
and so now he's seeing everything in a whole new context. And so Michael Caine, he comes down. It's so convenient that it's Michael Caine and his name's Mike. So he comes down and he's pissed off. He's sick of dealing with these citizens and their concerns about the environment. Fuck that shit, you know?
Right, really.
Pep's Blue Ribbon! I saw that this weekend. I'm still high on that.
I don't know what that means.
Oh, Blue Velvet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry.
All right.
Yeah. So, he comes down. He's still hot. And Sensei is about to drop some more bad news on him. I read those files. Can you speak up? I read the files. I know about the Mexican steel.
And Mike goes, well, yeah, okay. Hey, by the way, there's another oil refinery fire. He just throws it out. He's like, we need you to take care of it. You're the only guy who can do it.
Yeah. So throw on this spacesuit and an oxygen tank and get in there, pal.
Let's hop in the chopper and get to the chopper.
Get to
that oil rig. And he's like, all right, when we get back, we're going to talk about this Mexican steel.
A serious fucking talk. And I am going to
notice that Seagal sounds just like Fat Tony from Simpsons.
Yes,
Do you
he
think
does.
the character was based on Seagal?
I think it might have been.
Okay.
I could see Sensei taking credit for that, too.
He's like, well, I always did the voice. I just didn't take credit for it. So they chop her into this new refinery, and there's really nothing going on. There's like a little bit of a fire. She's like, oh, this is strange, but I'll go check it out. Seagal puts on his spacesuit, goes inside. What's he find, Griff?
So he's walking in. He's noticing the levers are done. It's flooding with oil and water. Everything's looking bad. And just like out of a fucking scary movie, it's so dark in here, guys. It's so dark. So he's just got his flashlight, and then his flashlight slowly creeps up, and there's a pair of feet, and then a pair of slacks, and then
severed dick.
one and then there's one green suspender, one red suspender, then a old man with a mustache and a red hat, and a steel ball cutter, whatever it was.
A pipe cutter,
and this
American steel, though. That's why it worked.
That's why it worked. And there he notices
Pittsburgh's own.
He notices Hugh dead as a doornail, dead as his heart on, and he's just like, fuck. And you see Sensei, he knows he's got to run and dive.
So he's jogging as fast as he can. He's going like 2 miles an hour.
They do not show him running in this scene.
At the last second, he jumps.
Yeah.
Whenever you jump, right when an explosion goes off, you're safe.
Yeah.
But it fools Jennings. He's like, he's dead. We saw it. Because we see the body like fly out.
Yeah. That was the stuntman who unfortunately lost his life.
But he died for this movie.
He died for
this
movie.
Worth it. Well worth it.
He's like, I'm dying for the message of the movie.
So Jennings like, all right, it's done. We're out of here.
Yeah, it's all good. So as it happens,
luck would have it.
Yeah, there's a native tribe, and they happen to be going out dog
call
sledding.
Like bullshit on this whole tribe thing. Like, I guess it's in the realm of possibility. It's possible, but in 1994, I find it highly unlikely there were Eskimo tribes living the way they live, like in igloos and shit. And it's possible. But I just in Alaska in 1994. I don't know.
I don't know.
I think he needed that kind of rustic, like people
again,
living off the land.
Murray, as we brought up in the opener, he's doing this on his own experiences. Clearly, something like this happened to him. Okay? So
he would never lie to me.
Exactly. So
they're in their dog sleds.
Yeah.
And there's the medicine man, the chief, the tribal chief.
Yeah.
And he sees the smoke. That smoke looks like the man bear.
A man bear.
And so I guess the man bear's something to do with
Spirits told me
I
man bear.
think in '94 you could say Eskimo. I don't think we can say Eskimo anymore. I think that's a bad word.
I
now.
think you're right.
We'll say I think Inuit.
Inuit
is the new
is
word.
yeah.
We'll say Inuit from now on. And he's just like, "Hey, wait! There's a man there. It must be the Great Spirit. Come to rescue us." So they pick up Sensei Seagal. They take him back to their igloos.
And, he wakes up in a wigwam. He's got a nice weighted blanket on him. You notice how Sensei, after, like, the first 2 movies, never takes his shirt off.
Because you saw his body in fucking Hard to Kill. I mean, that was, like, the doughiest martial artist I've ever seen.
I hate to be, like... If it weren't Steven Seagal, I wouldn't be this judgmental. But when he was skinny, his head looked too big for his body. And then he gained weight, and he just looked too bloated. Like, he's just an awkward-looking human no matter what phase he's in.
I just couldn't help but notice how much he looks like his South Park character. Like,
Yeah.
he really looks like the South Park thing.
And that's a sad thing because they're like cardboard little cutouts, but it's so accurate.
I mean, he didn't have the chocolate donut goatee because this is earlier.
Not yet.
He had somewhat of a jawline in this movie. So he didn't have to hide it with a goatee.
You're right. He did still have a little jaw.
And we have this little old lady like chewing blubber and putting it in his mouth. And it's, ew! Did you notice that? It was like this. Like the
That was probably a candid scene, and they were like, "Well, we need it. This is all we shot for this scene. You said it was good. Get me out of here." So yeah, he's feeding him, and then Joan Chen and the chief come in.
Joan Chen is the daughter of the chief.
Yeah.
And they're just like, you are here. You're sent from God. You're amazing. And he's like, as humble as always. Sensei goes, I'm just a mouse. Just a scared little mouse.
I'm a scared little mouse.
And he's like, no, you're not.
Oh, shit.
You're a man bear.
Oh, my God.
And you're going to save us.
Oh, my God.
And
I gotta point out the chief does not speak English. So the fact that he figured out English to yell that at him,
that's the only English he says in the entire movie. And still, Joan Chen translates for it too. That was weird.
Yeah, she does.
Well, and she yells too.
Yeah, chief says you're no cupcake. You're man bear with huge testicles.
Big cojones. And he's like, yeah, okay, you're right. I didn't want to argue, but you're right.
And then I love this scene because the chief rolls him over, stunt double number 8, because he doesn't want to show his back. So they roll him over, and he's got like debris in his back,
like
and
shrapnel in his back.
You know, he just gets in there with a knife and just starts digging it out.
Spits on it. It's just sanitized.
Sanitized, no
chunk,
big deal.
Chunk, flipping him out. And to his credit, Seagal doesn't say a word. He's like, he just takes it in silence.
Yeah, not
and
as silent as a mouse.
Joan Chen in the background sighing, like swooning. Oh my God.
Oh.
He's just such a man.
So we get to see Michael Caine. How's Aegis doing? We just had another explosion. This is another one of his. I don't really know what it was, but one of his establishments. So he's got to explain this big explosion.
Yes.
And he's getting a lot more bad publicity because there's a lot more debris, oil. He's polluting.
Well, he's like, didn't he just say like a whistleblower went rogue named Forrest Taft, and he set these off?
Yeah.
Kind of setting it up for like, I guess to keep the land or whatever. He's like, well, this is sabotage. I can't finish Aegis 1. He's like, he's setting the groundwork.
Yeah. And it's a good excuse. Like, I'm buying it. And I know everything that's happening, and I buy it.
And as soon as the press is out, he goes to Magruder and Otto. You idiots! Find that body. And like, well, he told you we had to get the body. You said he was dead.
Yeah,
I don't care what I said. Go get those bodies. And they're like, all right, we'll do it.
So don't worry. It's been 2 whole minutes. Sensei is the director of this movie, so we're going to go right back to him. And he is full of clothes because gotta layer it up. Well, this is actually appropriate because it's Alaska wilderness.
And he's just like, I have to get away. I don't want these. It's too dangerous for me. I'm on deadly ground.
He must have.
Oh my God, that's probably where they got the title of this movie.
Nice.
I just put that together.
Very good. Bravo.
And he's like, I don't want these innocent people to die because of me.
Yeah.
Because they're going to look for me.
By the way, he's speaking to himself.
Yes. He's having a very long inner monologue. It's like Dune. He's having his inner monologue.
It's a Dune.
He's like, the spice melange. And then he's like, I got to steal one of these dog sleds and get the fuck out of here.
Stunt double number 34.
Yeah, these dogs, because we always know dogs can really tell if someone's good or
Yeah.
bad. They immediately attack Seagal. And then they wakes up the whole village, and they're like, "No, we don't care if we die. We love you. You're the man bear. You're going to save us. You were sent by the gods." And he's just like, "Okay, all right."
So the chief comes out, and he looks pissed off. You can barely tell because he's got a wrinkly old face. But Joan Chen, speaks for him, and he's just like, "What are you doing? Why are you trying to get these dogs?" And he's just like, "I gotta get away. I'm too dangerous.
I'm on deadly ground.
And the chief just cracks a little smile. You see, smile perk up from some wrinkles in
Looks
his
like
face.
a young Charles Bronson.
Looks like a young Charles Bronson. Probably got a wildy in those pants. So he is just like, "You have the spirit of a bear. You are willing to steal these dogs to get away. You're ready for your vision quest.
Let me take you." And then they're like, "All right." They find this mystical glade where there's no snow. It was weird. It was like,
Yeah.
because we were in snow a minute ago, and now we're on a lake. And he's like, "Let me ask you something, Seagal, Sensei Seagal, Sensei Forrest,
Deity, please,
deity. Is it? Don't you think it's possible that the Bible could be true, yet and dinosaurs at the same time?"
Ooh.
And then he just gives this totally plausible creationist lecture to
Interesting.
Seagal, and he's like, "No, it's true. The dinosaur bones were put there to test our faith." And Seagal's just learning. He's just like, "This is interesting."
Yeah.
And so he rattles it off. He goes, "Okay, enough of that shit. Let's get down to brass tacks.
Brass fucking tacks, bud.
Vision quest. Usually we take like some peyote or some kind of hallucinogenic.
Ayahuasca.
But you're too good for that. I'm just going to tap you with a feather."
Oh my god, I forgot about this. Oh.
So he goes, boop, right on
It's
Seagal's nose.
Very sensual.
And Seagal goes, ugh, and just collapses in a heap.
Yeah. I want to say, for his directorial debut, that was a very beautiful scene.
So we get some past life regression. We see Seagal in the womb. We see him being born.
Yeah.
Full grown man being born out of a woman.
Yeah, that was a little weird.
It was a little weird, but it was this vision
And
quest.
then he gets up and checks the woman's chi to make sure she has no lumps. I was like,
He's
okay.
like, "Mom, you don't have cancer."
He dies in a... Oh, no, that comes next. He dies in a... He fights a bear.
While that's going on, everybody he might not have taken hallucinogenics, but everybody in the village has, because everybody
my
gets
God.
naked in the sweat lodge and it's like tripping balls. Everybody's naked, having a good old time.
Yeah. And Sensei, he heads into a wigwam, and he's just like looking around. He's getting warm. He's taking his jacket off, but not his other 3 layers because he's got to keep that hidden. And he sees an old lady, and he's like, ew, gross. Ah, fuck, shit.
No, before that
ugly.
happens, he fights a bear.
Well, I mentioned the bear. That happened in his Vision Quest.
I didn't hear that.
Okay.
And it's an important fight because he is the man bear.
Yeah.
So he defeats the bear.
Yeah.
And then goes underwater for some reason.
Yeah.
Emerges from water, and then he not only an old woman. There's 2 temptations. The last temptation.
Did that lead in that? I thought that's how he woke up.
No, he. This shows what a great man Sensei Seagal is, because I was given the opportunity to fuck a smoking hot naked chick or talk with an old lady. I'm going to the naked chick, but not Seagal. This chick was hot.
Oh my god.
And he's just
It's
like...
also the only boobs we get in this movie.
Yes.
So it's like, well, yeah, come on, Sensei. We need this. More than you need it, we need it.
And but he's tempted. Then immediately he does the 5th power of the ninja hand symbol.
Mm-hmm.
And that just... The succubus is like, I can't handle this shit. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Goes and then he comes out of his stupor, makes a beeline. He chooses wisdom over pussy, which a young man like Sensei Seagal normally wouldn't do.
He must have seen Steel of Iron. What was it called?
Circle? I don't know.
No,
Circle
not
of
Circle
Iron?
of Iron.
Well, I don't know which
it's
one.
the underground fight one. Look, man.
Legion of Steel.
Legion of Steel. There we go.
Yeah. Yeah. It made his dick hard, but it made his brain soft.
So he went to the old lady who made his dick very soft, but made his brain very hard.
And she tells him once again, "Look, you're the greatest. You're a god. You're the fucking man bear, blah, blah." And hey, look into this pool of oil. and he puts his hand in the oil, and that's supposed to symbolize something. I don't know. It's something beyond me. I don't know.
Yeah, that's right.
And then we see him. He's back to real reality. He just emerges from the river. He's reborn.
Oh my
Still got the
God.
buckskins on, even though he's like in the water.
Yeah.
And
Again, not going to be seen naked.
well, thank God, man.
Yeah.
And the chief's like, "You did it."
I'm surprised he let his name chain get wet.
And they do like a fucking high five, and a freeze frame. It was pretty sweet.
So after our freeze frame, we slowly transition back into Otto and Mac Gruder, who are looking for a native village. They're like, the natives must have got him. So we need to find the native village, find the native village, find the forest. Pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool. So they got this awesome 8x10 glossy of him, signed and everything. Deity Sensei, ex-CIA Seagal.
It's his blues man, like 8x10. He's got like a fedora on, like roguishly.
He's
tilted
got
to
the
side.
guitar up, and oh god, it's awful. And have you seen this man?
Look, man, have you seen this man? And they're getting nowhere. 'Cause these people, they would die they've known him all of 12 hours. So they're ready to die, ride or die.
I mean, they're pretending not to speak English, but they're doing
No
it's
speak 'em
convincing.
English.
Yeah.
And
The chief comes out to calm everyone
Chief
down.
looking very, I want to say it looked very suspicious to me.
You think he did?
He was grabbing for something at his waistline. I don't know what it was.
I don't know.
But all I know is Magruder saw it too.
Oh my god, what are you setting up here, Murray?
Because Magruder is like, I'm feeling
I'm feeling threatened.
I'm feeling threatened. I'm going to stand my ground now. I'm warning you.
On the count of 3, I'm standing my ground, everybody.
And then the guy, he's like getting a piece of bubble gum, the chief, out of his bag, and he just fucking unloads on the chief.
Yeah, 9 shots. 9 shots.
And he's like, you saw him standing my ground?
Otto, tell the man, tell everybody.
Otto's like, you were standing your
You
ground.
are standing your ground there, Captain Magruder.
And they're like, we're going to leave now. But I stood my ground. And they just make a beeline for the chopper, and they take off.
Oh, my God. So, of course, Sensei is going to arrive just now because he was out doing a thing.
Communing with nature. I
Just
don't know. Maybe he went back and fucked that hot chick. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what I would do after I learned my lesson.
But Joan is Oh, you mean the succubi?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Maybe. I'm going to have my birthday cake and eat it, too. I'm going to talk to the old woman, get done with the vision quest,
that's what you
go
do.
fuck the succubus in the woods. That had to be what happened. So he gets back to town. He goes in the wigwam. He's like, "Wow, everything."
No, I thought they were just outside, were they? Or did they bring him inside?
They brought him inside
Okay.
because come on, he's they gotta treat him inside.
Okay.
So he goes inside, and now the old lady's feeding him little bits of whale blubber, and
They're
Steven's
like, who is this lady? Why is she just walking in feeding incapacitated people blubber?
Steven's like, "Get the fuck away from him! He's dying here. Doesn't need your whale blubber. He needs Sensei knowledge."
The chief's like, thank God I can finally die. I just need to impart some more wisdom to you. You are the man bear. I know it. I saw it in my vision. After I fucked that hot. She was hot, wasn't she?
Oh my
I
god!
go right by the pussy. And he's just like, and they just, for like 5 minutes, he started talking about her. I don't know why any of it. But then he's like, here, he pulls out some beads. This amulet will protect you. We never see this amulet for the rest of the movie.
No.
But it's important at this scene. And like Seagal's probably like, okay, thanks. It clashes with my buckskin. But
my Jim Dandy look is ruined by this, but
so he kind of just goes, hey, look over there, and then throws it over his shoulder. He's like, and then as soon as he imparts that wisdom, he's the man bear. He's the savior.
Yeah, I guess that's all it was. That pass down of that little trinket.
Well, he's
was
technically he's the chief now. He basically handed it down. Maybe that was what the amulet was for. He's like the totem that they have to wear.
Oh, maybe. So he's walking out, and he's like, I gotta get away. Clearly, you see what happens. He warned them.
He's the one who said, I'm on deadly ground.
Yeah. So they leave the village, and he's looking at getting those dogs again, and Joan, she's like, I'm going to go with you. Her name is Masu in this movie.
Okay.
Masu is just like...
Did they ever say her name at all in the movie?
No, they don't.
Okay. That's why I didn't have a name for her.
Yeah. So...
she didn't really do anything either in this
Dude,
movie. The greatest thing she did was throw oil on Michael Caine.
She is supposed to be the audience.
Okay.
She is like constantly
Surrogate
grasping
for
Sensei's
us.
leg, and it's like we're seeing ourselves in her.
Okay. Yeah, because we could never. That's true. Because we could never see ourselves in Sensei Seagal.
Exactly.
Or we could see ourselves in someone next to.
Exactly.
I get it.
You
Okay.
get it. Okay. So he's going to the dogs, the sled dogs, and she's like, whoa there, Chief. There's a Yamaha under this tarp. That's the one.
Tarnip?
What
I don't
just happened?
I don't know. Yeah, it's like, and I'd be like, what the fuck are you guys? This is only emergencies. Like, we got to keep it real.
Well, that's Sensei's joke. That was a joke.
Yeah.
That was a good one. Good job, Sensei. Dee Dee's got the jokes.
So he's like, hop on, baby. Let's go to Hughes. He's got some spare clothes there I need.
Yeah, he knows that he's got his like little what do they call them, like escape kits or something? The weird people planning for the end of the world.
Well, yeah, we learn in this part of the movie, we learn that Forrest Taft is a doomsday prepper. Yeah. So he's like, don't worry, I got shit all across the forest hidden. Hughes is the closest.
Yes, that explains the
Right.
Okay.
So they go there, and just so happens Hugh knew that he was going to need this at some time, so he put the disc inside the Doomsday Prep kit.
So again, when we were talking about Otto and Magruder going over Hugh's place, the disc was just in the backpack in the closet. There's nothing else in this house. It's not. I mean, it's like
including blood, as we said earlier. The blood is missing.
The blood is missing. They broke the gun case. That's no longer broken. The kitchen was destroyed. That's no longer destroyed.
So they're not. Jennings isn't that bad. He actually paid everything fixed.
Yeah,
yeah.
And in like, I don't know, 2 days. That's good work.
Yeah. I couldn't do that in 2 days. And so he's like, get the fuck out of those Eskimo clothes. Put on some white man clothes. Here, Hughes' clothes will fit you. He was a scrawny little fuck.
Yeah, they'll give you that real nice 80s long ass. Get those on.
And it did. It was great. 80s flat ass. And she could use some sheen on that ass. And
he's showing her around like, this is
I guess
place.
maybe
This is where he jerks off.
maybe when they cleaned up, they set some sensors. I don't know why Otto and Magruder knew that Seagal was there at the same time.
Didn't he call them? Didn't he get a little? No, that was the next scene. I think no. You know what it was? They were coming by in the copter. They spotted the snowmobile.
Oh yeah,
and they were like, "Oh, they went on foot from here."
And they're like, "We know they only use that for emergencies."
Yes.
So we got it. They're up to something.
So they tracked the steps to the cabin, and so it just happened. They got done dressing. There's no sexual tension. Everybody, nothing happened. Seriously, nothing happens with Joan Chen. There's not even like a glimmer.
I still don't know why she's in this movie. I guess, like I said, you surrogate. That's all.
Yeah, there really is no point. I mean, she
carries his shit for him.
She got naked in Blood of Heroes, didn't she?
I don't know. So long ago, I don't remember.
Yeah, so it's just like Seagal was not willing to pay her enough, or she was like, "You're so repulsive." No,
that's what I'm going to go with.
I'm going to go with that one. But yeah, so all the
Otto shows up.
These are the bad mercenaries, by the way.
Yeah, this is Otto's crew.
Yeah.
And this is where I want to tell this Otto story. So, all right. So what happened with Sven Ole Thorsen, who plays Otto, we all know, love from all the Schwarzenegger movies. Before they did this movie, I guess they were just setting up for a scene, and Seagal goes, "Kick me." And of course, obviously, if you're just some noble, he's just like 12th lead in this movie,
right.
He just does a little like Orange Cassidy like kick to him because he doesn't want to.
Good pull.
He doesn't want to lose his job. He's like, "What the fuck, man? No, seriously, kick me!" And he kicks him and fucking laid out Seagal because Seagal sucks. Seagal's probably going to do some move. So this is what a fucking piece of shit Steven Seagal is. So while they're doing this scene, Seagal really punches Otto in the throat, fucks him up. And then, according to Seagal, it looked so good and so realistic that nobody could have survived that. His character got cut. His character had more shit for later in the movie, but Seagal was like, "No, that's a perfect cut. I can't have a guy survive that." So this guy gets seriously punched in the throat by a total cheap shot because obviously you're leaving yourself open because you're like
Yeah.
You're not thinking you're going to throw a real punch.
Exactly.
So that's the worst of anyway. You're not expecting it.
It's a
They
stage
You can
fight,
kill a
yeah.
motherfucker.
For sure. He's relying on you to not do that.
And then, like, you're done with the movie. Get the fuck out of here.
That's amazing. That's a horrible story. That's
Yes.
amazing.
But it fits his character.
So again, while Steven's taking her around the house, showing him where all Hugh jerks off and where he jerks off when they're together, he's like, that's where my tea mug goes. Here's the bathroom. Don't worry. I washed off his jizz. I jizzed in the toilet earlier. I flushed it, though. I don't know why I keep going on about this. And
you got Jim Belushi on the brain. What the fuck?
I got Jim Belushi on the brain. So after...
Jizz Belushi. That one was just for us. Sorry about that.
Yeah. So after he's done showing her how to wash jizz off the window, I'm sorry. He's like,
He's
wait,
just showing her around the place, all right?
shh, stay in, get in the shower.
He hears a
Because
twig
footsteps.
snap.
Yeah, of course it's a twig. And then they cut to a Joe also noticing it, just to show that he has the senses of a wild animal.
And you just
He
see
is the
Otto
bear.
go like, oops. And then all hell breaks loose. He starts fucking firing on
Oh
him.
no, come on. It's a little calmer than that. So three guys come in, and there's like the sliding porch door. There's the back door, there's the front door, but then there's also a little doorway on the second floor that someone crawls through, and that's the one. He looks at Joan Masu, and he just punches straight up, and then he takes out his gun, and he like mimes that he's gonna shoot this guy through the dick, through the floor, and they keep a close eye on that one. So he walks out, he sees the guy coming in the back door, he points a pistol, then he points the shotgun straight up, shoots the shotgun, shoots the guy through the dick, out his brain, splatters
Always
everywhere.
shooting people in the dick. What's up with that,
He
man?
sticks. He loves talking about, even more than me, about jizz, dick, balls. He loves it. And he loves to emasculate every other man.
Yes.
So shoots that guy through the floor, through the dick, shoots the other guy because, of course, everyone turns. He didn't put the Pepsi bottle on this gun, so they hurt him. That comes up later. So he shoots the other guy, so now there's just two people left, and one of them's Otto.
Yeah, and then so I guess
It's a horrible gun.
turn around is fair play because he winds up beating Otto to death with that whale dick that they broke Hugh's fingers with.
It's not even a good fight. He reverses.
None of the fights are good in this,
Yeah.
including the last one was the worst because it wasn't a fight.
Yeah. He reverses the whole cupcake thing. Oh, what are you going to do, cupcake? You want to take a shot at me? Just grabs that whale dick and just starts beating the shit out of him. It's like, oh.
I know what. Once again, fighting dirty. The man of honor always fights dirty.
So, Murray, wow, we've had a lot of Seagal. Aegis, you wanna get in what he's up to?
Well, we got our man Magruder. Magruder realizes he's in over his head. He's
Yeah.
just like, this guy, he's unstoppable.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. I'm in over my head. I can't do anything. Fucking Michael Caine just grabs him by his lapels and goes, this man is the ultimate nightmare.
My God.
We need to get those Nolan mercenaries. Those are the best kind.
Oh my God. We got to get Stone. We got to get the Nolan mercenaries. My last presser with all those natives, they've been telling me the bear is coming after me. I don't know if I'm going to get gay fucked or if there's a man. They're probably referring to Steven Seagal. I don't know. I'm terrified.
So he calls in our man Arlie Emery. You know, we all know and love Arlie. You know the whole story how he became an actor, right?
Who?
Arlie Emery Stone.
Oh, no.
He was a real-life drill sergeant.
Oh, okay.
And he was called in to be a consultant on Full Metal Jacket. Because, the first half of the movie is all basic training. And then Kubrick's like, why don't you just fucking play the part of the drill sergeant? And he's like, all right. And that started his whole acting career.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's playing the head of these Nolan mercenaries, Stone.
What's going to happen when a bear meets a stone? I'm hyping this match, man.
I don't know, but they get choppered in. So apparently, much like in our movie After the Fall of New York, there's like a time portal between New Orleans and Alaska, much like there was between New York and Alaska and After the Fall of New York.
Yes.
That they can chopper in, not jet, chopper in to Alaska in like 3 hours.
3 hours.
Like, we're here, we're ready to go.
Well, when you cut out L.A. traffic, you're just there. It's no big deal. So we got Steven Seagal, and he's learning that Mike is planning to poison the
Well, they
land.
go to like another jerk-off cabin in the woods, like an Indian friend that Seagal has. I'm just setting the stage for you.
Yeah, no, you're right. And he's cool. He's got the round shades on. Looks
like an Indian Jimmy, Mouth of the South Heart.
He's got like the leather tassel vest on.
Of course he does.
He opens it up, and he's got weapons in it. So Steven's going to him for weapons.
Right.
Yeah.
He's like, I got a guy. He's my gun guy.
Yeah. So he's going to go get some artillery from him, but he also learns this whole plot about how basically after done with the oil rig, Mike's just going to push everything. There's like a recess in it, so they're just going to push all the... Actually, this happened to us in Detroit just recently. The M53, or I forget what freeway, 94 was it, with the green ooze?
The green ooze, Secret of the Ooze.
Because the guy who owned the factory just dug a hole. That's what's happening in this movie. Mike's going to dig a hole and just push all the stuff they're supposed to properly dispose of into the hole and call it a day. So,
yeah, I mean, what I'm getting from this Aegis One, the big oil refinery, is that it reminded me of... I actually watched this documentary recently about the Fantastic Four movie that Roger Corman did in the 90s. The whole point of making that movie, they never had any intention of releasing it. It was just to keep the rights. And this is the exact same thing that Jennings is doing. He's building this. He knows it's a piece of shit, but he needs to keep those rights.
Yeah.
So that's why he's cutting the corners. And then so I'm guessing then he knows it's a piece of shit. So he's like, well, I'll just use this one to dump all the waste from our oil digging in this one.
So Seagal is just like, I can't stand for this. I am going to blow them all the fuck up. And Masu is just like, you can't do that. What would my father think about this? Again, I guess this is the audience speaking. I'm at like, yeah, sure, blow them up. This is fuck cool. Yeah, let's do it. But
how would that help the environment? I forgot, because when you blow up an oil refinery, it stops everything.
Yeah, it's not. There will be blood. Taught us it'll stop everything.
No, this movie taught there will be blood.
You're right. But Steven Seagal tells her to shut the fuck up with your spiritual bullshit. Takes that...
He just went on a vision quest, had sex with a hot succubus, and he doesn't believe any of it anymore. He's like, is this your fucking fairy tales? Is that going to stop things? Is that going to help the world?
I got to put your bullshit dad's beliefs behind me for a little while, honey. Toots.
Sugar tits. He's like,
put a little she-sheen on and I might fuck you later.
You see this ugly-ass amulet he gave me? And he threw it on the ground.
I am going to go spit roast these fuckers. And I'm gonna make sure that they don't get a chance, because if they do, they'll fuck your whole tribe.
And she's like, well, I see that's a great argument. I agree with you. So he he's got his buddy's got this little armory. They're all doomsday preppers up in Alaska. He's like, I need this. He's just rattling off like an expert. I need fucking Uzi 9mm.
Give me that katana. Give me that shuriken. He's getting all the ninja mall shit.
It's fucking. He's at Shokazuki's like cabin. He's like, I need that shoe. I need that.
Give me the tinted yellow sunglasses. Got to black out that blue light, man.
So now we're cutting back to the Mercs. Stone and his men. They're in a chopper. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
And they're getting the lowdown on what a forest taff is about.
Well, Stone, his approach to these kind of hits is, I need details.
Right. I need to know what I'm with a quarry that I'm chasing.
We rattled off all of his background to open the episode, but you know what? In the movie context, what's his background?
There's more.
There's more.
Because this guy's like, Stone, you're not going to believe this. According to this, he doesn't even exist until 1987. It's like, unless he was born a full-grown man, which he was in the Vision Quest. We just went over. Maybe he was.
Maybe he was.
He's like, he's got to work for the company. CIA? I don't know. It doesn't sound right. What else could it be? This guy is amazing. And then you just see trickles of sweat go down Snow's. Like, he thought this was going to be a cakewalk.
Yeah, he's realizing that he's in for
like,
some shit.
I guess we're going to earn our money this time, boys.
So we cut back to Seagal. He's got a nice little shack there on the edge of the woods. Beautiful, wake up, have a cup of coffee, while you're working on some poetry, meditation, just getting a hold of the bear that's in you.
It's like on the side of a mountain kind of thing.
And also in the shack is a lot of explosives.
It's like full of C4.
It's all C4. And I thought this was a detail he put in the movie, but the C4 actually says, "This is explosive side, point towards enemy." I was like, that's got to be a Seagal touch. It's not, apparently.
Yeah, that actually is real.
It's actually real.
And so, yeah, he's just putting it all in. Because this is basically Masu's other job, just to carry the C4.
Yeah.
So he's got a bunch of these knapsacks, and he's filling them up with C4. Yeah.
And of course, he doesn't put any C4 in his, because it's like, if you get one shot to the leg, that horse is going up. So put it in her horse. My horse is not explosive.
Yeah, they're on horses because this is such rough terrain. You can't drive a car. So our bad guys are also on horses.
This is where Sensei pulls out like a little walkie-talkie or something, and he signals. And she's like, "What is that? Are you calling collect right now? Save some money?" It's a 90s commercial reference. And he's like, "Oh, I'm just sending a signal to get their attention, and then they'll come here." And so sure enough, he gets their attention, and a copter comes flying down.
Well, they split the team up. So the mercs
it's not
the mercenaries that have lines are on horses.
Yes,
because this is such rough terrain, they can't drive up here. So so the chopper has nowhere to land. So they're just kind of surving like
they're not even the B squad. They're like the D squad of the militia here. Billy Bob Thornton is not in the D squad, by the way.
No, we got to point out Billy Bob Thornton plays one of the henchmen in this. He has like 3 lines, but he fucking acts the fuck out of these 3 lines. He's kind of not recognizable because he's kind of fat in this one.
He is, and he's got a beard.
Yeah. And so, and he's wearing a hat to cover that balding.
That's right. Copter comes in.
Real
low. And Sensei's like, "I got him." He's got like a piece of dynamite on a fishing hook, and he like flings it around the corner. I don't remember how he does it.
He just had the thing. He just pushed a button.
Oh, he just pushed a button?
Beep. And then just the whole shack blows up. The love shack goes all to hell. Destroys the copter. I want to point out, that was a real copter, which I loved. Because nowadays, they would just use CGI copter and it looked like shit. CGI fire always looks awful.
It does.
This was a beautiful shot. It probably added $2 million to the production.
Hey, good work, Sensei. Good work.
And Stone is like, "Holy shit! Tarnation!
What in tarnation?"
So this is where we get the scene where they see, like, I think Seagal probably is like he's on the top of a cliff. Ha ha! See what I did, motherfuckers! And then takes off. So
he's a step ahead of
everybody. He starts setting traps.
Yeah.
And I want to point out, this was such a drop the ball moment, which rarely happens with Steven Seagal. Check this out. He should have had a scene where he killed somebody with like a bow and arrow or some shit. Like he's like hiding in the trees, and then he dropped this line. "I guess you didn't see the forest for the trees."
Oh, God damn it. How long have you been holding on that? You didn't even tell me about that one. You were waiting. You were like, "I got to see Griff's reaction to this live."
And it was great, wasn't it?
I hate it. I hate you, and I want you to leave. We're done. Podcast over.
Go fuck yourself. That was it was too good.
So Steven Seagal is going to go full Home Alone here. And Forrest Home Alone. Forrest Taft Home Alone. And so he's bending branches. He's getting batteries out. He's got D-cells and fucking trees
and everything.
He's got a bird with a little crossbow on its back. I'm like, oh my God, this is intricate as all fuck. Caribou with a little radio on its
But he knows he's
antler.
not dealing with any normal. He's not dealing with Magruder's goons. He's dealing with Stone's goons.
Yeah, he knows somehow.
So, game knows game.
Game knows game.
Maybe they were in the company together. We don't know.
He is the bear. Maybe the chief is squawking at him because Chief is an eagle now.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And so they spot it. Or do they? Because they're like, "Hey, there's that line right. See that line connected to that mousetrap?"
All right, boys, you see that line down there on the grass? That's a trap.
Billy Bob's like, "Oh, yeah, that is a trap, man. I see it.
I see that trap. I see it."
He was ad-libbing that line.
Yeah.
He's getting as many lines as he could. And they're like, they tiptoe over it and fall into the real trap.
Oh, shit. Well, Arlie Emery Stone has that moment where he's like, "What the fuck? Stop!" And yeah, the guy, that shot of him, like, it was weird. It was like a bunch of needles or something puncturing him. What was happening?
It was like it was like a log that he chopped the branches off, so they were spikes. And it like swung into him. It was
that would have taken time, but not Sensei Seagal. He's a bear.
Yeah, he's literally 5 minutes ahead of these guys, but he has time to create all these intricate traps.
Yeah.
And then you have the scene where Billy Bob's like, "God damn, that guy's amazing.
Oh,
I wish I was like him.
I'm busting a nut just looking at that kill. These traps are amazing."
So, but they they still go, hey, I can see him right over there because it's cat and mouse.
Yeah,
cat and mouse.
He's 20 feet away. If they got a gun out, they would just.
No, they respect him enough not to do that. They
Can't
want to see
recognize
they
him,
want to
man?
see the white of his eyes.
Oh.
And so Seagal, he comes up to a cliff. It's probably like a 3-foot gap, which is impossible for Seagal himself to jump.
But stuntman 48 is on the horseback.
So him and Masu jump this gap, but before he does it, he leaves a little present for the guys, a little knapsack. And they're like, hey, is there sandwiches in there? I'm pretty hungry. And then before the guy reaches for it, it just blows up, and they creates a huge gap. So there's no way these guys can jump.
It's impossible. But they're like, oh, don't worry, there's a path right over there. Let's just go head around. But they actually just head right back. Like, it sounds like they're going to go try to head him off in the woods, but no, they just retreat back to the main defense point here.
Because they know where he's going. He's heading for Aegis 1, the rig.
Yeah, they know where he's going. So they're like, instead of trying to fight him in the woods where he's clearly got the advantage because he's goddamn human of a bear of a human. I can't even tell.
He's a man bear.
He's just...
I don't mean that in the gay sex way. He's not that kind of bear.
Yeah.
Or maybe he is. And so, no, we saw his back. It was smooth as a baby's bottom.
Oh, my God.
And so we see that scene. He's outside, much like Chuck Norris when he was reconning that Vietnam POW camp. He's like, all right, you stay here and guard the C4. I'm going to take care of business.
I got to take care of business.
So he just like a shadow. He just sneaks in, gets by everybody.
I'm sorry. I'm so confused about this structure because there's like a rig out on a bridge, like over the water.
Well, of course it's got to be on water. We know that all evil happens on water.
On water.
Yeah.
So that's the main rig he's trying to get to. But before he gets there, there's this whole compound.
There's the drill, the oil rig, and then there's the I was going to say distillery, but it's refinery.
Okay, so he's going through the refinery.
He's going to create a diversion with the refinery first.
Okay. And then he's going to work his way to the rig.
Yes.
So, okay, everybody, that's the plan. I was watching this movie, and I was like, I have no fucking clue where we are because it goes from the woods immediately into a structure. And I was like, this is it, right?
Yeah, no, he's in the refinery right
He's in the refinery.
And everybody's there. Jennings is there. He's got all his hench is there.
And they're basically building up their line of defenses. Michael's trying to coordinate, like, all right, guys, we need people here. We need people here. I'm going to stay at the consoles. I'm going to be pulling the levers. I'm going to be watching the cameras. I'm going to be tuning into your radios. But Sensei, I mean, of course he's 9, 12, 13, 14 steps ahead?
At least.
So he's, like, planning C4 as he goes. He's got Masu planning C4. But here's my favorite. We're going to go into some real tech here. Is this where he gets into the first control panel?
Yeah.
And there's a guy behind a door, and he sees him, and he's like, okay. Happens to see that there's a nice piss 2-liter Pepsi bottle.
Well, there was a ICP concert for groundbreaking.
Oh,
for this
that makes sense.
So there's all these Faygo 2-liter bottles everywhere.
So he grabs one of those. Just happens to fit because Faygo, back in the day, we had this thing where they had the wide mouth so you could pour cola faster. Do you remember that?
No, I haven't had Faygo in forever.
Oh my God. They had a bottle, instead of having like the 1-inch diameter, they had a 2-inch diameter so you could pull pop faster because that was the thing stopping us. So he puts that 2-liter or wide gap 2-liter bottle over his pistol.
Gets the little duct tape out.
Holds it up to the little window access panel.
Knock on the door.
Guy, of course, puts his nose to it. Who's there? Quiet as a mouse. He is both a bear and mouse.
Yeah,
so he wasn't lying.
Oh, that would happen. Like a fucking plastic pop bottle. I mean, like, I've seen, like, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to burst anyone's bubble, but even real life silencers are loud. Mm-hmm. They're just mufflers. They just muzzle the sound, but you still hear a noise.
Yeah.
There's no, especially not with a fucking 2-liter pop can.
But it works like a fucking charm. And then he just slowly opens the door with a credit card because it was locked.
This is so irritating. It's so like even like the fake physics behind it makes no sense. Like this, I got one right here. I have a 1-liter pop. There's no like. Let's get your gun. I'm gonna see if this works.
I got my Derringer right here,
it's
buddy.
It's like this little like skinny little plastic
Hold
bottle.
On. Here's the Derringer. Go ahead and put it over that pop bottle there, and go ahead and take a shot.
Try it. Holy shit!
I knew it.
It only works once, though. That's what hard sucks.
It only works once.
Yeah.
It helps that you had a little sparkling water in there.
Yeah.
That helps silence
it does. The carbonation muffles a lot of the sound.
So he uses his credit card. He opens the door, And, of course, there's one more man in there, but he's got the edge on him because the guy didn't even notice that his buddy collapsed and that a gun went off
His brain's
4 feet
he's
away.
covered in his buddy's brain matter. He's like, "What the fuck's going on back there?"
Oh,
What?
man, this ICP contract's getting crazy. It's 2 days old at this point.
family. And it's like, right there, I'm like, execute this guy.
Seagal's like, I got your family right here. Knife through the neck. Oh, shit. Pulls it out. Happens to be, there's all these metal pipes everywhere, and then there's this 3-inch section that's rubber. And it happens to contain the most important material, a very flammable material.
He worked for this company, so he knows every square inch of the refineries,
It's
and
true.
he knows how to sabotage.
And he also knows that they cut corners here. They didn't cut a pipe long enough, so they used
well, it
the
said
rubber.
made in Mexico on the hose, so
You're
he knew
right.
that was. He's like, I'm going to leave that one.
Yeah.
And he cuts the American-made one.
So he cuts a hose open because there was one part that wasn't metal, it was just rubber, so he cuts it open, and then he goes over to this panel, and he notices the phone number on it, and we look at the phone number for 14 minutes. I called it. Did you call it?
No.
No one answers.
No.
It was a 7-digit phone number, so I gave it a try.
Was it 555?
It was 555-1432.
Okay.
Why do I know that?
I don't know.
So we get a little New Year's Evil technology in here because he removes some kind of capacitor, then he replaces it with a screwdriver.
Right, yeah.
And I don't know what reaction's going to happen here, but it can't be good.
Well, I'm thinking an elevator's going to crash now.
I'm waiting for the elevator scene. That's what I'm waiting for.
Well, there is one. But, yeah, so he just puts a little screwdriver in there. All right, that's ready. You know, that's going to happen. And then he, like, what happens next? Oh, we learned that Mike called in the FBI because for some reason the FBI has to be here to make sure everything's on the up and up. I don't know. I guess they're in charge of, like, they got, like, the timer. You have 8 hours, 32 minutes, and 5 seconds until the land goes back to the natives.
Yeah.
So he's like, God damn it, we got these guys. They're here for, let's just say, legal reasons.
Yeah.
So then all of a sudden,
They're confused because, like, how can we kill him if the FBI are here? Like, it's going to be a big conundrum. You'd have to pay him off.
well, we know they're the deep state, so, you know, you can't trust the FBI. Yeah. So, yeah, so explosions start going off exactly as they planned them.
Yeah.
It's like clockwork.
Masu has been planning these, by the way. We do not know where she planted them because we do not see her, but she will randomly know where Steven Seagal is and return to his
this
life.
huge refinery. I mean, I can buy that, like, Seagal, like, he probably worked on this refinery, so he knows where everything is, but I don't know why she knows.
There's not even a scene where he, like, draws her a map, like a
Well, there
game
actually
plan,
is a
you know?
scene later on. He does show her a map.
It's
but-
true. You're right, actually.
But not on this one. That's for ages. He didn't
Yeah.
have a map for the refinery.
Yeah. But as all those explosions are going off, Michael and crew, they're worried about the FBI. They're worried about Steven Seagal. Everything is going wrong. And just the last thing they need, cut to Steven. He's got Masu at his side. He whips out that cell phone.
Big old block phone.
Oh, my God. And she's like, you didn't dial collect. And he's like, don't worry. This is a local call.
Didn't he say, like, I'm going to reach out and touch someone? It was something.
It was something
Yeah.
like that.
I'm going to reach out and touch someone. And then he grabs her breast. That was weird. And then he hits the button. That's probably why there was no nude scene. They filmed this scene first.
Yeah.
And he's like, I would go to a doctor. And then he hits that, and then boom.
It calls to that circle panel.
That screwdriver turns for some reason. I don't know how that happens. And an explosion goes off. And this wakes everybody up.
Yeah.
And then he pulls out the map, and he's like,
Yeah,
all
you're
right,
right.
now, because now the refinery's so fucked up, he thinks everyone's going to be checking in out for him. Now they move on to the rig.
Yeah, he's telling Masu, I need you to place explosives here. I need you to open the doors here, because he's a fire expert.
Right.
He's, Murray, the professional.
They're
We're going to
gonna-
learn that in a minute, but he is the professional.
They're going to create a backdraft, I think.
Yeah. And
A
so
wind tunnel, as he called it.
he is giving her all the breakdown of where she needs plant explosion, open doors, everything. And then we cut to Stone.
He's flipping out. The FBI's like, what's going on here? And he's like, he's here. He goes to Magruder. He's fucking here. And he's going to, like, he grabs fucking, the guy's like, but Magruder's like, it's impossible. There's no fucking way.
Yeah.
Stone had to have killed him. He grabs fucking Magruder by the lapels. Taft is a patron saint of the impossible. And just hurls him across the room.
Oh, my God.
And we're like, holy shit, it's on.
So now we just have the rig remaining. The FBI decided to leave because shit was getting hot and heavy.
Yeah, right. They're like, we don't get paid this much to get burned alive. I'd leave too.
And finally, the fire, we're like in the control panel with Mike, and he's standing over the controls. He's like, guys, it's not that bad. We just need to go here and go here.
He's just like, I got 5 hours, and this land reverts back to me.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not abandoning the ship. And everyone's else like, we're rats, and we're abandoning the ship. So Magruder takes off.
Magruder is just like, dude, I think I'm going to leave. And he's like, you can't leave. And then Ivanka's like, no, I'm pissing the right fuck out of here.
Well, no, she's like, I'm going to go check on something.
Oh, yeah.
And then she just like takes off with Magruder.
Yeah, Magruder is like, I'm going to go make sure she does what she said she's going to do. So the two of them fuck right off. But it just so happens that, Steven Seagal.
It has happened to bump into Sensei Seagal. Because once again, Magruder's got to get to the chopper. That's how everybody goes around. I guess in Alaska, everyone has a chopper.
Yeah.
And prepared to get chopped, motherfucker. Because Seagal grabs him. And he's like, you better start praying to the patron saint of the impossible. And this is, like, once again, I'll point out how just sadistically cruel Seagal's characters are. The guy's just trying to get away. Like, it's like a fun. I mean, I guess he did kill his buddy.
He did. He doesn't know that. He knows it, but he doesn't know it.
He senses it.
He sensates it.
And so he goes to the back rotor and just hurls his head into the rotor.
This is after the guy offered him information.
He's just like, I got all I need to know.
And during this time, Ivanka, pissed off, she got away, and she got into a car.
This is where we're thinking, okay, this is the point of having Joan Chen, because Sensei Seagal, he's not going to kill a woman. That's a coward. I mean, kicking guys in the balls, doing like totally dirty-ass fighting, beating a guy with a whale dick, that's totally okay. That's above board. But you never hit a woman. So I thought we were thinking, okay, this is Joan Chen's time to shine. She's going to kill the woman.
Yes.
No.
So she's driving, and you're like, we're on an oil rig. Where's she going to go? And, like, there's pipes everywhere. There's no room for a car. There's barely room for a helicopter. How's there room for a car to get around? Well, there isn't. She drives into a gas tank.
Yeah, she just fucking pulls back, once forward, right into a gas tank.
So we see
her face is all bloody.
We see her crash into it. Her face is fucked up, and she's just like, I should have taken a right at Albuquerque. Nice Bugs Bunny callback there. And then it explodes, and she's dead.
I think he should have said, I guess he didn't see the forest for the pipes.
Oh, my God. I like that one better, actually. Oh man! So we get to an elevator now.
Yeah, she's horrible. I just want to point out she's horribly burned alive.
She's horribly burned alive. Good call, Murray. Okay. Thanks for bringing that up.
Okay, well, I'm just pointing out what a sadist our fucking hero is.
And so we get to Billy Bob, the real hero hench of this movie, and he's just standing with another guy, and they're guarding an elevator.
Like, you see that 9 he had? I'm thinking about getting me one of them 9 They're pretty sweet, aren't they? They're just talking shop.
That their 9
While that's going on, they're guarding this elevator. It's the elevator to the where Michael Jennings is and the control panel.
There's no staircases anywhere. They have one entrance to protect. They're like, this is easy pickings.
And we've already used the screwdriver, so there's no controlling this.
Oh my God.
Or is there?
Because
we see our man Jennings and Masu, not Matt Jennings. We see Sensei and Masu go into the elevator, and they make sure to put that explosive pointing outwards, not inwards.
Yeah, and
we're like, okay, and then the door closes. Like, okay, they're going up into the elevator. Okay, I get it. And then
we cut back to Billy Bob. He hears the elevator come up. He hears the things like, "This will be easier than eating French fried potatoes." They start shooting the fuck out of that elevator. Nothing happens. Door opens. Boom.
Yeah, they faked him out. Sensei's not on that elevator.
No.
He took the stairs.
So, Sensei, he's going to get himself over to that rig control panel. And he's just like, he's doing all of his best chi work. This is how he interacts with women's sexual parts. He's just slapping at
this is
knobs.
Literally turn every knob in the room.
I love this. this is our 75th stunt double because he couldn't get his hands in there touching knobs. He's like,
fingers were too chubby, like he couldn't move them.
I didn't want a close up on my hands and my fingers. They're a little fat these days.
So he's like, it's basically like a panel from Star Trek. He's just turning knobs and buttons.
Yeah, they don't even
dilithium
have,
crystals are going off.
They didn't even have the detail enough to put scribbling notes on what they were. They're blank. It's a fucking 4-year-old's toy. And, well, it's also a Steven Seagal toy.
And he walks out the room. He's like, all right. He comes up with Mom. Everything's set. While he's talking to her, our man Arlie Emery Stone, he emerges from like an oil slit. He comes out of his oil, like covered in oil.
That's right.
And he's got a shotgun. And like, what? This is such a classic Seagal movie. He gives Arlie nothing to do. He literally just offhand, like without even looking at Arlie, grabs the shotgun, spins it around, shoots Arlie, kills him.
I'm going to tell you, honestly, I did not even notice the scene.
Yeah, that's
Did
what he
not
does.
even
It was
notice.
the most nonchalant murder of the main henchman.
I realized like 5 minutes ago, I was like, I don't know how Arlie dies.
Yeah, that's how it happened.
Oh.
And then he starts, I guess, he starts releasing gas, so the guys can't use their guns. They're like, it's flammable! Can't use our guns! We can't use...
When you hear that, you know Sensei's like, bing! He's like, I am a keto master.
Exactly. You had to have that one scene where he shows off as a keto.
I'm so glad I went into the Shokazugi closet and grabbed these ninja stars and, fuck, I lost them. I'll have to do this hand to hand.
While that's going on, so he's hand to hand and go...
He finds a pipe.
We see of course he does. He always finds something like a kendo stick or something.
He didn't use the pool cue earlier in the movie, so he's like, I can use a pipe later because I didn't use a pool cue earlier.
He didn't want to telegraph it.
Yeah.
And while we also see the readout 9 minutes before this whole rig set to blow.
Yeah, in that super flammable room, he sets a bomb
like,
up.
Beep, beep.
And of course,
the countdown.
Masu somehow returns to him. I want to see the director's cut of what Masu's doing during this whole time. I think her adventure is interesting.
While that's going on, Michael Caine, he's like, apparently, ICJ said he has to turn a wheel to start the rig.
Yeah, he looked like a real oil man. This is very much There Will Be Blood. They stole this scene too, where the evil henchman is turning a crank and...
and he's like twirling his mustache while he's doing it. And like, Seagal's like, he's still going to put it online. He's crazy. And so he kills all the henchmen with his fucking pipe.
Yeah, it's just Mike, Masu, and Sensei now.
And they bump into each other. And then the light, like, I was expecting, okay, now we're going to get a stunt double 512 of Michael Caine getting his arm broken. He didn't break one arm in this movie, I don't think.
No, he did. He absolutely did.
I don't remember.
In the bar scene, before he threw the kid through the window, he broke an arm. Actually, there's a minute here with the pipe fight. There was a random guy drops the pipe to square up. They get a really small stuntman because, of course, they mean to make Seagal look larger than life.
Right.
He is big. He's a menacing presence.
He's a man bear.
Yeah, he is a man bear.
Oh.
So they get this really small stunt coordinator or stuntman.
He was a dwarf, yeah.
And he breaks his arm, and then there is a very...
Was it Vern Troyer?
I'm not kidding. It's not Vern Troyer. I'm not kidding at all.
R.I.P.
It's actually Marco. I can't remember his last name. Marco Stunt?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Marco Stunt from AEW fame. But no, he grabs him by the arm, and he breaks it, and then there's randomly a little outlet in the whole rig compound with a glass window that he throws him to.
Yeah.
I wish I were making that up.
So...
Michael Caine.
At this point...
He's going to give him a sweet speech.
Boris Taft is just like... I guess Seagal's like... he's like wheezing. He's like, I can't have a final fight. So... You're right. Michael Caine, he's just goading him again. It's flashback to the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
And we learned that you can say whatever you want about Sensei Seagal. You don't talk about the Native Americans.
Yes.
And he called her a fucking slut.
I see you've been banging this little slut here.
And he was, not yet. And then they're like on a catwalk. And he grabs like a chain and ties it around Michael Caine's leg.
Yeah.
And then throws him out like over the edge. And there's like a there's like a pool of oil below.
Yeah.
Oh wait, this open.
Yeah.
This is a really poorly constructed oil rig. I'm glad he stopped this. Oil rig.
OSHA, well, they said EPA, OSHA, all of them do not approve of everything about the rig. So,
but as long as he got it under time, he keeps those. He calls it the Fantastic Four, clause.
exactly.
So, and then they just dump him in the oil, and that's it. That's the last you ever see of Michael Caine.
You get to hear Masu deliver a line, I told you I would see you die. Why not let her kill him?
No,
For
can't
the
have
love
that.
of
Can't
God.
have that.
Please. So, they get the revenge for the chief. Masu's happy. Steven looks over and goes, we need to run fast. We get a cut of him finally running, and it's not much better.
You just see the upper part of his body, and then you see a stunt double's legs like running real quick, and then they get in a truck, and the truck leaps right at the last minute when the explosion goes, and then that just I don't know how this stops like a whole total environmental collapse, but it does.
No,
somehow.
it just does. Just does.
So that's it, man. The movie's over with. We saved the world. It's over, right, Griff?
Oh, Murray, we're at about the 120 mark of the movie. It is actually 140. It is a...
What else can we do? I mean, is he going to bang her for 20 minutes?
I wish. I'm big on Joan Chen. I'm just going to leave it there.
Okay.
No. Actually, it would have been worse to see that because then I would have to see a stand-in for Steven Seagal and Joan Chen.
I know you
No.
want to see his real nude body. You're like, I'm not going to watch this.
Yeah, I really want to see
stunt
Steven
double.
Seagal's nude body.
Heaving on top of her, whale blubber.
No, we're going to go to the Alaskan State Hall where Steven Seagal is going to give what most people recognize as to be the plot of Inconvenient Truth.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I cannot believe. I mean, I always thought Al Gore was a scumbag and a liar, but he actually stole the whole premise of Inconvenient Truth from the final 20 minutes of On Deadly Ground.
I'll have you know, I watched Inconvenient Truth for the first time like 2 months ago, and a lot of the cuts they did for the movie here were in Inconvenient Truth.
Right. Well, you saw he had a slideshow just like Al Gore.
Yeah.
And he's,
You mean Al Gore had one just like Steven Seagal?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's just rattling off statistics. And it's where I want to just point out that, like, we love ripping on Steven Seagal because he's a piece of shit.
He is.
But even a broken clock is right 2 times a day.
Exactly.
So he is only Steven Seagal could make me go, fuck the environment. Like, because he's such a douche. And it's actually... The test audience felt the same way.
Yeah.
Because originally, this is actually only like a 12-minute finale.
Yeah.
It was like 25 minutes originally in the original cut, and everyone was like, fuck this shit, and they had to like cut it down. But he gives you all the statistics about how the oil companies do whatever they want, which they do. I mean, I want to let everyone know outside of Flint, they're still having to buy water to drink. It's still fucked up in Flint.
There was a big progression in that where the Supreme Court was like, the citizens could basically sue.
Well, they should.
For all the inaction by the administration.
Yeah, and nobody went to jail, by the way. So he's shockingly rattling off some truth at the end of this movie.
Yeah.
And it's just this, it's the shit we all know. You've seen, Inconvenient Truth. If you believe in science, you agree with it.
It's very anti-big corporation. He's doing a Bernie speech, basically. AOC / Bernie speech / Greta Thunberg. And you would not expect this out of a 1994 movie for a guy who loves Putin, hangs out with Trump, fucking basically fucks Joe Arpaio.
It was because he didn't get he's like, where's his Nobel Peace Prize? Al Gore took his Nobel Peace Prize.
Oh, so that's why he turned to the other side.
Yeah.
Now he is Michael Caine from this movie.
Or maybe Sensei Seagal, because he is a Zen master, maybe he's manipulating them.
Oh my God, he's living out a movie. He's on the inside. He is Forrest Taft right now in real life.
Deep undercover.
Oh my God. Guys, this is real life. I can't wait
We've
to
seen
see
what influence he has on Kim Jong-un.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait.
So, guys, don't fucking worry about the environment. Sensei Seagal has it covered.
Oh, don't worry. To close out the movie here, He gets off the stage. All the natives give him a rounding applause. They make him the chief of the tribe.
They
They're
do like a ceremony. He gets his official Indian name, Man Bear.
They touch him with the feather, and he goes into another fucking like
trance vision quest.
Vision quest.
And this time he gets the succubus.
This time he gets the succubus and Joan Chen at the same time.
Right, double teams him. It's great.
Murray, under 2 hours, we did it.
Well, we mentioned it, but then there's an after credit scene. I don't remember what it was, but they were in a boat.
Yeah, they were in a boat. That's it.
And then they said, "I wonder what Iron Man would think about this." And then it just goes in a big question mark.
Marvel stealing from Steven Seagal.
Not Mexican Iron Man either.
Yeah.
So yeah, whew, there you have it, people. Ask and you shall receive. We gave you wanted some Steven Seagal. We gave it to you.
We wanted Steven Seagal. It was such a good time.
We love kicking him when he's down, up, and in between.
Oh my God.
He's a piece of shit.
And his giant cupcake balls.
But you know who has real balls, Griff?
Who?
I don't know, because have we decided what movie we're doing next week yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I told you we can do that.
Okay. So, as everybody in America knows, February is Black History Month.
Of course.
And as everyone who has non-cupcake balls knows, February is Blaxploitation History Month in the ye old golan-globus theater.
Yeah, and point out that February is the shortest month of the year, so we usually tack on an extra
Well,
week.
no, because here's the thing, Griff. We don't let the man tell us when Blaxploitation History Month happens. We decide. And we've decided next week it starts. And, Griff, do we have a movie for you guys? Not only did this man write one of the greatest Blaxploitation soundtracks of all time, not the greatest, Superfly is the greatest, he starred in some of the greatest Blaxploitation movies of all time. And we're going to start out. He's the Duke of New York. He's a number one. The Duke of New York. A number one. Of course, we're talking about Mr. Isaac Hayes.
Oh, shit, yeah.
In the classic movie Truck Turner. And I also want to point out, if we have any Star Trek fans out there? We're Star Trek fans.
Yeah.
And you ever wondered, you know what? Lieutenant Uhura, she's cool and all, but what would she be like if she was a madam that dropped the N-bomb every other word?
Oh, Jesus.
Well, you're going to find out, because actress Nichelle Nichols, who played Lieutenant Uhura, plays a madam in this movie. And you've never heard Lieutenant Uhura like you've heard her in this movie. So it's a great time to be alive. Next month, Blaxploitation History movie starts out with a bang and not a whimper. And keep it black, y'all.